So, have you ever been working with an AI and felt like it's, well, a little inconsistent? You get this amazing result one minute, but then the next time, using the exact same prompt, you get something totally different. Let's pull back the curtain and figure out what's really happening under the hood.
It's a super common and honestly a pretty frustrating experience, right? You spend all this time crafting the perfect prompt, you get a brilliant result, and you think, yes, I've cracked it. But then later, that same prompt gives you something meh. It can make the whole system feel really unpredictable.
Well, here's the good news. It's not you, and it's not actually random. There's a very logical reason for all this variation. It's just that the reason is part of a system that's working completely out of sight.
And look, that's a totally reasonable assumption to make. The model is the part we all see and interact with, so it makes sense to think, hey, if the output changed, the model must have been updated or something. But that's usually not the whole story.
To really get what's going on, we kind of need to upgrade our own understanding. We're going to move from what's called a mental model, which is basically a simple analogy, to a more formal, more accurate picture of how the system really behaves.
Mental models are great starting points. Thinking of the AI as just a single brain helps you get started. But to understand these inconsistencies, we have to look past that simple idea and see the formal system, the actual engineering that makes it all work.
Okay, so here it is. The first major piece of the puzzle is something called the routing layer. The best way to think about it is like a hidden traffic director. It's making critical decisions about your request before a model ever even sees it.
And what's really important to get is that routing isn't just one simple thing. It's this whole process that decides exactly where your prompt is going to go, which settings get applied to it, and what rules it needs to follow. This one invisible step has a huge impact on the final output you see.
And this whole routing process isn't random at all. The system is constantly doing this complex balancing act. Is there a ton of traffic right now? The router might send your request to a component that's less busy. Are there specific safety needs for your request? The router takes that into account too. It's all about managing a massive system efficiently and safely for everyone.
And here's the key. You don't do anything to make this happen. You don't click a Route My Request button. The platform just does it for you, instantly and automatically. It's a core part of what makes these giant systems work at a global scale.
And this brings us right back to our original mystery, doesn't it? Because this all happens behind the scenes, and you're not shown the decisions the router made. Any change in the output can feel like it just came out of nowhere. Now, layered on top of all that routing, there's another invisible force at play: defaults. Think of these as the pre-configured settings that the platform applies to your request when you haven't specified them yourself.
So, for instance, the system has default settings for things like creativity, or how it manages the history of your conversation, or what safety rules to apply. And these defaults can actually be influenced by that routing decision we just talked about, adding yet another layer that shapes the output without you seeing a thing.
All right, let's put it all together. We've got routing and we've got defaults. Once you understand that both of these are happening, the seemingly random behavior of the system suddenly starts to make a whole lot more sense.
So on the left, that's our simple mental model. Prompt goes in, output comes out. Easy enough. But the reality, the formal system, is over there on the right. And you can see it includes those crucial, invisible steps right in the middle, routing and defaults. That's the missing piece of the puzzle.
So you see, without knowing about that hidden middle step, any change in the output from the exact same prompt just feels completely arbitrary. You're left scratching your head, wondering what changed, because from your point of view, nothing did.
But now that you know the system is actively routing your request and applying specific defaults based on a whole bunch of factors, well, the behavior isn't arbitrary anymore. It's explainable. It's just the result of a system trying to balance performance, cost, and safety for millions of users. So the next time you get an unexpected result, you'll know to think beyond just the prompt and the model. And that kind of leaves us with a final question to chew on. Now that you know about routing and defaults, what other invisible systems might be out there shaping the results you see every single day?